What up, what up, what up? It's your girl Free coming at you guys live with another exclusive vlog. I'm so happy to be bringing you guys an interview from Beezy Santana. Say what's up to the people.
Hey, what's the deal, people? How y'all doing and all that? We up in here.
All right, so give the vlog a little bit of background of who you are, where you're from,
Okay.
what you do, the whole 9 yards. We know you're a rapper and all the good stuff, but let us know about your background, how you grew up and stuff.
Okay, originally I'm from Compton, California, off the east side in the Santanas. I was born in Inglewood, California,
Okay.
Santana Hospital, but I grew up in Compton. So basically growing up, it was my mom, my dad, and I got 4 brothers, my grandmother, my grandpa. And we was just all kind of in the same household until we all branched off. So I would say it was difficult, but we was making it work. My dad in and out of prison, mom's holding it down, everybody holding it down. But it wasn't like my dad was just absent. He was there, he just, he was thugging, so he was in and out the streets. So we kind of drove to that. We was young, bad kids, doing stuff that kids do. We just grew up in Compton, so it was a little bit different,
Okay. So how long was it for you? How long did you live in Compton? To what age did you live in Compton?
Until I was 17 years old.
Okay. Until you were 17. And what was some of the earlier years for you like in the LA lifestyle? Because when I met you, you were living in Bakersfield, correct?
Yes.
So we'll get into that background of you living out there in a little
Okay.
bit, but let's talk about the LA part first. Growing up in LA, what was it like for you as a young kid in Compton,
Right.
running the streets? When did you hop off the porch?
Right. Okay, so my grandma, she lived over off of El Segundo.
Okay.
And my mom...
By the airport?
Yes.
Okay.
And my mom lived in the Piru, so that's off Willowbrook.
Okay.
So we lived in the Fruit Towns.
Okay.
And that's where my first Compton neighborhood, when I first started realizing, oh shit, it's cracking over here, that gang banging, everything, whatever. So we young, bad kids, we not really idolizing the gang stuff, but we see the gang members outside, so we like, oh, what's up? So, being badass kids, we doing what we think is cool. So, boom, my grandma, she ended up moving on Pearl and Tucker, and that's where I'm from.
Okay.
So a lot of my actual gang banging years jumping off the porch started over there. My boy Molly, he used to come to my house. My boy Seaweed, we used to all go to different schools, but we all lived in the same hood. So, I'm playing football, they trying to play football, but I'm really playing football my whole life. Compton Titans, all that shit.
Okay.
And these just my everyday peoples. When I get out of school and everything, we all thugging, we outside. My boy Lil Ray, rest in peace. I love, my cousins. We all outside.
Okay.
So we young. We 12, 13 years old.
Okay. And at that point, what was it like for you at home? Was it mom's at work?
Yeah.
How was it like? You were just able to just go as you please?
Well, my mom did work at the time, but you got to think a lot of that time she was a single parent also.
Right.
So she was kind of there by herself, and nobody would watch us. My grandma would watch us, but when we at Granny house, we kind of just, we outside. My granny lived in the heart of the hood.
Right.
So we outside.
Okay.
But we not thinking that we gonna fall into this shit. We just young bad kids.
And what age was that again? When you say you hopped off the porch?
Like thugging, we was really thugging probably around like 13.
Okay.
13 years old. We was like thugging.
Okay.
For real. We wasn't doing the stuff that everybody else did as far as being advanced with it, but we was out there doing shit too.
Right. Okay. And so what was that like for you young? Did you get in any trouble? Were you, rebellious in school? How was that for you? What effect did that have on your everyday life? Because you were young, you're 13.
Right. I think in school, I actually was a good student. I just had like a fucked up mindset. Because I wasn't just like bringing home just like a failure. I actually had good grades. I made the honor roll a couple times and shit like that. I was an athlete. The hood shit was just shit I really wasn't aware of. I'm just outside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So my being inside my home, it was a little different because my parents were gang members also.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? My dad from Hoover, my mom from West LA.
Okay.
So they never showed us that shit, but we already kind of know the vibes. We know who our parents are type shit.
Okay.
Well, that's what it was for me at least.
You grew up with another sibling that was outside with you as well?
Well, my brothers, they way different from me. They was outside, but I was outside for real. So it was a little different.
And were you getting into things? Did you have any, real life moments young out there? What was it like for you in the beginning years of that type of lifestyle? as a kid?
The beginning years, it was crazy because we'd just go to the store and we walking home from school getting into riots with other races. So we really don't even know what's going on. We kind of at the first point of gang banging.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had cliques and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
PhD, NOC, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was at Whaley. You know, Whaley Middle School.
Okay,
And
that's in LA.
It's in Compton.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Compton's a different city from LA?
Yes.
Okay. It's all LA to me.
Yeah. It's all love. It's as county based, it's all the same thing. But Compton is its own separate city.
Okay, gotcha. So you were doing all this at Whaley, you said, elementary?
That's when it started.
Okay.
It was Whaley Middle School.
Middle school.
On Rosecrans and Gibson. So that's when we started gang banging. You know, it's people mostly, that school's like predominantly Piru schools.
Okay.
You know, you got niggas from the mob, Ludus Park, Cross Atlantic, all that. But I'm from the other side.
Okay.
I'm from Santana. So I'm like really a few out of the Crips that's going there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's when all that shit started, and just we was cool, but of course it was fights and all that shit. Then we like start forming cliques together, walking up Rosecrans, getting into fights with Mexicans, and then that's when all the other shit just started cracking off.
Okay. Did you ever go to jail or experience anything like that in LA when you were younger?
Yeah, well, as a teenager, I went to jail one time.
Okay.
And that's how the transition from Compton to Bakersfield came about.
Got you.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Because my mom, at that point, like, nope, we getting these niggas out of here. But remind you, my whole family is from Bakersfield.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My grandmother is originally from Bakersfield, so it was a little bit different.
Okay.
You know, we had a whole nother option.
Right.
But I think...
But you just happened to be born out there and grew up out there and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, what was it like for you coming from... How different is LA's culture, street culture, like from Bakersfield?
It's completely different.
Because you're not involved in any gang culture in Bakersfield. You're just cool with everybody in Bakersfield.
Right, yeah, I'm cool with everybody.
So how is it different for you, and what was it like for you adjusting when you very first moved out this way to Bakersfield and felt like, you know, how was it for you?
I mean, at first, as a junior in high school, it was different because all my friends were in Compton.
Right.
You know, so it was different, but it was something that I got used to quickly because, remind you, I was an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
I played football my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I came out here, I played for Bakersfield High School, and I played from Golden Valley. You know, so it was hard as far as, because people out here, they're really nice, like, especially at that time.
Right.
We in high school, you know, I never been in school with a gang of white kids, or, you know, so it was different. You know, I'm like, what the hell? But I'm still coming with that Compton, like, aggression, like, what's up? I'm tripping. But I'm really not tripping, but that's how I'm used to being.
Right.
Because where I'm from, you know, every you could go somewhere and bump eyes with a dude, and it's your first language is where you from.
Right.
You know, it's not like, hey, what's up, bro? It's like, where you from? Out here, it was different. Everybody kind of like, hey, what's up, bro? Like, and I'm like, what the hell?
Right. But it was a culture shock for you at first.
Exactly.
Would you say that the street life and growing up out there was harder than growing up in Bakersfield for the time that you did versus the time you grew up here? Because you went back to LA, and we're going to get back into that later, but I wanted to get a little chunk of you growing up in Bakersfield first, because I know that you recently had got out of jail too, and that was in LA, so we're going to get into all of that, and then the music and all that, because it all ties together as one story of why and how you are the way you are.
Absolutely.
So outside of that, do you feel like LA is harder growing up out there for a younger kid than it is out here in Bakersfield?
I would say it's faster, you know, because just like any city, whether it's Compton, whether it's LA, whether it's Bakersfield, it's all, the violence is all the same shit. I think just in the city it's just faster.
Okay.
It's bigger and it's faster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yes, it was harder, but I think moving here was different. It was a little easier because the environment was different.
Yeah. How old were you when you moved back to LA?
Probably like, I wasn't gone that long at all. We moved here probably I was 17. By like, once I really got out of my mom's house and start doing my own thing. By like 21, 22, I'm right back. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just back and forth now.
Okay.
You know, because I actually live here type
Okay.
shit. So it was like, I was just living in both places. I was just living a fast-ass life.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I was keeping up with both lives type shit. You know, it wasn't like I'm just in this place. I went to high school. I graduated high school out here, which was a good thing. It was a good move on behalf of my mom. You know what I'm saying? Because in Compton, I would have fucked that off quick.
Right.
It would have probably never got that far.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So when you migrated back from LA, I mean back from Bakersfield to LA,
Right.
what was the reason you were going back?
I
But like, cause you when I knew of you to live in LA, you were living there right before you went to jail. You were living there.
Right.
So explain a little bit of that experience and what you had going on around then, and how you. I mean, you don't have to talk about what you went to jail for, but I think it's like a good story to bring up the fact that you did go for how many years? 6.
5.5. Almost
5.5,
6, yeah.
almost 6.
Right.
And you know, you came out with such a positive mind frame to get right back into the music, but you were doing music before that. So when did you start originally doing music, and how did you end up going back to LA?
Okay, so I started doing music when I was going to Golden Valley.
Okay.
You know, in Bakersfield. So I met a group of guys, my boy Mondo, my boy Kendrick Ellis, So Easy, and he was rapping, and he was hard.
Yeah,
you know? So,
I know Ken.
Exactly, he was super hard. So I'm like, I was never a rapper, mind you. I'm like the pretty boy athlete. I was on some football shit, trying to, do what I do. And he was hard. He was battling people, but he the first person that had me, like, we made a song, a Cash Rule song. You feel me? And when we did it, it was me, him, Darren, and Mondo. And he was like, bro, your verse is kind of hard. My mom still got the song to this day. And after that, I heard that. Then even years after that, mind you, this like 2010 maybe, or like maybe by 2013, 14, I started writing my own songs. And then every studio I happen to go to, dudes would be like, bro, that shit was hard. But mind you, my confidence is at a low right now. I'm shy. I don't want to rap in front of nobody. But every time I wrote something and laid it down, they're like, you hard. And I met Aldre too, and I was doing music with them. We had like this little label back then, like G-Fly ENT. But it was like a group. Emmett the Dancer, Boo Man, rest in peace. It was
I remember. I know who Emmett is, but I didn't know the other person.
Aldre, so we was all doing. These the dudes I first start actually having performances with. We used to go to the Billards, but we was all on the same songs. Even AJ Zelly Zell, he was.
I remember him.
So we was all doing that, and that's when I first got my first taste. Like, damn, I like music. At that time I just liked it, but this at the time we still like got adolescent mindset, so we rapping about bullshit, right? Bitches and bottles and the function and But as we grew, we all went our separate ways, and I just gravitated back to Compton. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Right. And then I started living more into the lifestyle that I was already like familiar with
as a kid.
It just like amplified. So now I'm rapping about my whole content is different. You know what I'm saying? Right.
So, how much of the streets and growing up in the streets and being in the streets is the inspiration for the music around that time and to now?
Right. I mean, up to that time, it was just a lot of pain. It was just like a lot of suffering. It was a lot of shit that I was going through, that I was putting myself through too. It was just coming back to me. You know what I'm saying? And that pressure was like, damn. And as an artist, this is already what I'm feeling. I really didn't know how like touching it could be or none of that until I actually made the shit. Right. And heard it for myself. You know what I'm saying? And that was pretty much for me like, damn, I really feel this shit. Because I'm really living this lifestyle. I'm really going through this shit. Certain homies getting killed, homies getting shot, like literally right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
right in front of you.
Fuck. Like, oh shit. But it make you stronger, it make you more aware, it make you more like everything's amplified it makes you grow and want to be positive. You know what I'm saying? That's why like when I got out of prison, my whole mentality was different. But I already knew at that point I was growing still. You know what I'm saying? I kind of grew in prison. It was kind of like from 24 to like 31. So it was like, damn. you know?
Right.
And up until that point, I'm like, man, I'm really going to do music because that's the only thing that I'm passionate about. I love it. I love doing it. I'm going home and I'm doing that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I got out and I really did it. Well, I'm doing it too.
Right.
You know, like I'm really working hard on my craft. I'm really trying to perfect it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the struggle, it just bring that out of you if you really feel it and that's what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I didn't really plan to be like, oh, Beezy Santana, the rapper type shit. I was more so like, I used to make songs for myself.
Right.
Other people just happen to like them.
Right.
You know, and that's how it got me to where I'm at and where I'm trying to go. Because I'm comfortable now, I'm confident. It's crazy.
What made you want to change the style? Because before you went to jail,
Mm-hmm.
you went to jail in LA, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so before you went to jail, you were making more outlandish music, more towards it was more street shit.
Right.
But it was more out there street shit.
Right.
What made you want to change when you got out to make more like positive type music? It still has street shit in it because
Right.
we're gonna talk about your music video that you filmed in your hood.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that one.
Okay.
But you do it in a different way now. Like it's
Yeah.
more, I wouldn't say professional, but it has a little bit more class to it than just the more outlandish shit where you just fuck this nigga, I'm sliding on this
Right,
and all
right,
that.
right.
That type of shit. You
Right.
know what I mean? So what made you want to change the style? Like,
Um,
did you change as a person? Give us a little background first of all before you answer that. Give us a background on what it was like for you in jail for all that
Right.
time, because you were in prison, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what was it like for you at that point? And what were you doing up to that? Had you been getting in trouble constantly, or was it just like they just wrongfully accused you? Like, you could speak on that.
Right. No, I wouldn't say that because I'm out there really in the streets. I'm thugging. So,
Okay.
you know, so everything I was doing was kind of to benefit me. I
Right.
wasn't thinking about no consequences. That's how fast I was really moving.
Okay.
I was literally at a time in my life to where I really didn't give a fuck about nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's how I ended up in prison.
Right.
So it was just like some crazy shit. And that shit is just like, I don't know. I think it depends on how you receive the blessing that come out of that. If you looking at prison like just fuck, I'm here, and you gonna like wear yourself out. But if you still a positive person, and you like, man, I'm getting out of here one day. But you're preparing for that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, prison, it was hard mentally, physically, every aspect. It was hard, but I just dealt with it different. It built me. It helped me. Like, man, because at a point I would never say that I'm happy that I'm in prison, but I was like, I knew I was like safe. You feel me? I had
Right.
a lot of more like peace of mind and shit. It was crazy. Of course, I dreaded being there, but it was just like, all right, now I'm gonna grow. Now I'm gonna be like this. Basically, you can shape yourself depending on how you apply your time.
Right. Had you been in prison, had done any time long like that before you had went
No.
for the 5.5?
No, I went to prison before, like in 2013, but at that time I only got like 16 months or half.
Okay.
It was like, I caught a gun case.
Okay.
But that's like 16 and a half, you supposed to do 16 months. But at that time, you only doing like 7.5 months.
Okay.
You know, so that shit really didn't affect me at all. Of course, I'm like, damn, I'm in prison for the first time. I'm scared as shit. But I'm gang banging. There's other gang members in this motherfucker, so I can't be the one that's like.
Did you run into any issues in the 5.5 on behalf of that in there?
Well, yeah, I had a couple fights, but it wasn't. None of them was like personal shit. It was just like certain dudes I had fights with. We still cool to this day, you know, because we got the hub and the dub. It's all different type of cars, but I'm from Compton, so we got a whole different infrastructure.
Right. I'm glad you said it was two different cities, because you're absolutely right, it is. And as far as the gang culture does, it's different as well.
Yeah, I think on the streets it's just more hands-on. It's just more like, wow, don't nobody care. We beefing with y'all over here, and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? In the middle of beefs, you know what's going on. And that's just what it is. But the crazy part about that is in prison, it's a totally different thing. You know, certain enemies, we all got to be cool, or not necessarily cool, but cordial. You know,
based off race, correct?
No, based off of all of us being from Compton and Watts.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying as far as other races. I'm speaking for like Compton and Watts. You get what I'm saying? Because you could have dudes from LA over here, you know, dudes from Pomona over here, but they all Crips. You know, you got Carson niggas over there, Long Beach, but Compton, we got our own thing.
Right.
So whether we enemies or not, we are all together. So all that street shit go out the window.
Now, when you guys go to jail, do you guys beef with LA in jail?
Nah, hell no. Hell no.
Do you guys, does Santana or any hoods in Compton or just as a whole, do they get involved in LA's beef?
No, not at all. Not at all. Because it's a whole different thing.
Okay.
Compton is this city, and LA is this city, South Central and all that.
Okay.
You know, we from Compton, so our beef is totally different.
Okay. All right. And as far as music goes, how does politics and all of that, do you guys stay clear of like the music politics that's going on with LA as far as who can make music with who and all that type of shit?
Right.
Do you guys get involved with that? Because I've had some people from different hoods off camera, you know, tell me stuff like, we don't necessarily get involved in certain shit, but we're not going to go against another Crip per se or another Blood per se. Like as far as with, because you know how the LA music, everything is fucked up right now. Everybody's beefing and you can't work with this person and this producer can't work with this person.
Right.
Does your neighborhood have anything to do with that or involve themselves in that? I haven't heard anything about Crips from Compton being a part of that.
Right.
But I want to get your opinion as a rapper from there.
As far as my older homies, I got some older homies that's tied in to certain musically situations. I guess not musically, but musical. So, and what I mean by that is they know, I'm not gonna say they in the industry, but they tied in.
Okay.
Because a lot of that shit be coming back from older niggas now that was young niggas at a point in time. So they had the money to do all that, but they still tied in. But as far as the politics, I think that it's more so like, if you know that your hood is beefing with this hood over here and it's bad and it's been bad, then that's not really nothing to discuss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's obvious.
Exactly.
But what about when you have to pick? Like, say for instance, you want to now travel as a Compton rapper, a Compton Crip rapper, whatever. Or I'll just use that as an example. I'm not saying that's what you are.
Right.
But a Compton Crip rapper wants to travel now to LA and make a song with, I don't know, another Crip, but those Crips have beef with a certain Blood hood that you guys don't have beef with. How would you guys handle that? Because that's LA's politics.
Right.
Do you guys steer completely clear of it? Or is it kind of like how some people on here have came and said, you know, shit, who I rock with is who I rock with. So that's kind of like what it is.
Yeah, of course. You know, that speaks for itself. So it's like, for me, if I'm hanging with any dude that's not from where I'm from, he could probably be Paru or Blood. You know, my homies is Crips.
Right.
So if my boy over here, my peoples, and I love him to death, and we together and some shit pop off, then that's only, you know, I'm with him. But it's not like no personal beef or it's nothing like that because that's y'all business over there. But if we happen to be there and something crack off, then of course we gonna have to protect ourselves too. You know, but it's not really like I wouldn't say choosing a side thing, but we are Crips at the end of the day.
Right.
You know, so it's like we gonna ride with the Crips.
Right. Okay. All right. Do you, as an artist that travels to both cities, have you involved yourself in any of the politics? No. Do you know anything that, like anyone personally of anything that's going on out there?
No, I just really be like in my own lane. Like, I be hearing about certain shit, but if it don't got nothing to do with like my homies as far as Santana's, I really don't even be involved with it.
Right.
So it'd be like, all that other shit just be like, oh yeah, I heard about that or I seen that. But shit, whatever, we probably just laugh about it on the back end, like, damn, that's crazy. But we don't, you know, it's nothing else. It's nothing more than that.
Okay. What year was it again when you went to jail?
It was the end of 2016, like the end of the ending. No, it was January 27th, 2016.
Okay, so that was a completely different era. It was way before the pandemic. It was way before everything was expensive and technology took like a triple boost. It was a completely different time. Was it hard for you getting out and adjusting?
Right. No,
what was some things that were different for you?
It was 2017 actually. Okay, so I mean
that still was long ago.
Right, hell yeah. But so at that time we was still just really just wild. So it was like we was still mentally like kids. You know, we was in our 20s, probably like 23, 24, but probably barely 25. But we still was like doing bullshit. We getting loaded every day, driving. We doing what young niggas do, you know. And that shit was just like crazy. And then when I went to jail, but up until that point, every day was just like some shit. It'll be a shooting here, fuck. You know what I'm saying? But we getting drunk. This shit was fun.
Right.
We like fucking Western cowboys at this time, really. Like, we going outside to get in trouble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was like, damn. But going to prison, it stopped all that shit. Like, just, you know, you stop it. But even in prison, the politics be kind of like you in here with certain people, but you're not getting along with everybody. So amongst the cards, you might get in a squabble here, a squabble there, you know. But that shit is just like, I don't know, that shit crazy.
When you got out, what was some things that were like surprisingly different for you as far as what changed within the world and music? A lot that's accepted now was not accepted. You're from my generation, so we knew how we grew up,
for sure.
and what niggas was doing and what niggas wasn't. And a lot of the shit we hearing, niggas just not being able to rap, and they still millionaires, millions of followers, and just the weird shit. What was some shit that was shocking for you that, you know, when you very first got out of jail?
You talking about
just in the world, period, like that surprised you?
I think what surprised me the most, that the pandemic maybe.
Okay.
Because everybody was wearing masks and shit. And we was doing it in prison too. But we kind of like in secluded areas. This fucking big, you know. So it was like, to actually see that was crazy, and to see that some of the same people from 5.5 years ago was like doing the same shit. And that's the shit that probably like shocked me the most, because I'm in prison all these years. So I'm thinking like, damn, they out there going up, and I'm just like falling behind like as fuck, you know. And then when I got out and I'm seeing certain of my peoples or whatever, and they still doing the exact same shit, I'm like, damn, that's crazy. You know? Like, so I'm like, I gotta go 10 toes down and really chase mine and go get that. But, and it was just like, I think that was the most craziest thing, and not on their behalf, on like some trying to be belittling or nothing, but for me. Because you gotta think, when I was in prison, my whole self-esteem was low. Like, I'm like, I feel like shit. I'm just in here, you know, in here doing time. My people out there just living it up, and this is what I'm thinking. So when I come home, and it's kind of the same. It was like, okay, I'm home. Like, yeah, this is what it is. But it's like, okay, I gotta get on my shit for sure. You know, and I did just that, and that was just pretty much know who you are, and be you. You feel me? And put everything into the shit that you doing, and go and do it, and don't give a fuck about what nobody say. Just do you. And that's that.
Do you feel like rappers that put the gang culture and the street culture into the music blatantly, a lot of the younger generation is doing that? What do you feel about that? Because I noticed with your music, before you went to jail, you were a little bit more on the outlandish side. Now that you're out of jail, you're more positive and you're more calm about it. You still let people know where you're from, you still let people know what y'all doing, but you do it in a more discreet way, to where it's not incriminating for you. So what is your opinion for the music of it, where people do put it out there like that? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's the right move to do?
Nah, I wouldn't say that it's the right move to do, but you gotta think, a lot of these dudes are still young. So some of the shit they rapping about, they probably really actually doing. And I think that's just a part of all of us being young, dumb, and oblivious to what's really going on out here. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, my older lyrics from back then was way different
when
from
you
now.
were younger.
You feel me? And you got to think, a lot of that shit, I was really like a part of this shit. So it was like, you know, so it was just crazy. Like, I'm really out here doing this. But I think that shit come with growth and maturity on how you want to articulate your words and shit. Because you're going to be like, man, I'm not a dummy. Because at them times, we dumb, young niggas. We don't know no better. We just thinking this shit getting us the bitches. We getting cars, we hitting licks. You know, we think we own. But now you trying to do it like, I don't even want nobody to know I'm on that shit. Because really I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just grown. So the way that I deliver in my music now, it just came with growth. And actually reading books in prison and just learning different shit and feeling different emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's emotions that I developed as a grown ass man that I never felt when I was fucking 21 or 17.
Right.
Now as a grown ass man, it's like, damn, I really feel that shit. So the music just come out like it is. You know, I don't really have to put too much thought into it. I just feel this way and write that shit out and go.
Right. Okay. What message would you give to the younger supporters out there, the younger rappers, the ones that are just getting into this shit and they trooping out there, really real life trooping? Like, what message would you give to them? Because you've already lived both sides of it.
For sure.
Like you said, they're young and they're going through what you went through, but you already went through it. So if you could give them some advice to help them through it, what would you say to somebody younger out there?
And I would say, if y'all young, y'all out there doing y'all thing, do it safe, but I'm not saying promote no violence or be in the middle of no violence. But at the end of the day, just grow and be aware of what's really going on out here in these streets. It's only 2 exits, man, and we all know what they are. You know, you either end up dead or in jail.
Everybody
and it's
says
true.
That. Every
You feel
nigga.
me? Because I grew up, a lot of my childhood friends, a lot of my homies, they dead or in jail. To this day, true story. You know what I'm saying? And for young niggas out there now, if they got talents, I would say just exercise your rights and do that, opposed to this. But you got to think as Compton gang members, LA niggas, Long Beach niggas, like this gang shit this is what we came up with.
Right.
So niggas love this shit. So it'd be hard to go
So
that way.
you preaching to the choir with that. They gonna love that on the clip. I'm gonna make that the clip.
For real.
Niggas love this shit. They really do.
You feel me? And it's like, I'm a victim of it myself. But I'm not gonna put myself in the situations that I would put myself in when I was a young nigga.
Do you think it was because you went to jail for that 5.5 years?
Hell yeah. Because now you see shit differently. You in jail, certain people you think love you ain't doing shit for you. You feel me? You got homies that ain't doing shit for you, and that's just for everything. You know, you start really seeing this shit like, damn, it's really just me and my family and whoever else really fucking love me.
Was it fucked up as far as like where you were staying, the staff and the actual jails? Were they dirty and it was just like bad? I
went to a lot of prisons.
I know you were in one that I was familiar with, but in the like, how was it in just period?
Like for all of them as a whole, or just one specific one?
What was the worst one?
Shit. All of them, shit. But I went to the shoe in Pelican Bay, and that shit.
Damn, Pelican Bay itself is bad.
Bro,
nigga.
that shit was horrible.
That's like the movie.
Bro, that shit was horrible. I was in the shoe for probably like a year. My celly was Tiny Deuce from Venice Show Line.
Oh, okay.
He was cool. That's my nigga. But we was cellies in there, so it was like easy because he funny, we funny, but we really in this bitch stressed out. Like,
what's the shoe? Explain to the viewers what the shoe is.
All right, so basically the shoe is if you on the main line and you just like either fucking up or you did something really, really bad, they gonna send you to the shoe, and the shoe is basically 24-hour isolation. You don't never come out that motherfucker.
So you would say going to jail for that 5.5 years really changed your life?
Yeah, it
for
did.
the more positive.
Yeah, it did, and it saved me too. From what I was doing at that time, before I was drinking hard, I'm riding, I'm sliding, I'm doing everything that I'm not supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So prison helped wake me up, because now, just like as the world's still going, I'm in this motherfucker at a slow pace, but I'm growing, I'm elevating. I could really sit down and think about the shit I was really out here doing. You feel me? Not to mention my mama, my dad, my grandmother, my grandpa, my friends, my brother, everybody getting older.
Right.
Certain of my people's dying.
Right.
You feel me? My auntie passed like one of my first 2 years in. And that shit was like, it broke me, because she was where I was living at in the city in Compton. You know, so it was like, the last I left, she's alive. I come home and she's not there no more.
Damn.
You know.
What, was it COVID?
No, she had cancer.
Oh, okay.
My Aunt Dorothy, she had cancer. It was crazy, and that shit was like really crazy to me, because I actually really felt that shit, because I was like living in the garage with my cousins, Anthony and Dewan. We back there like all day, every day, thugging. You feel me? And it was just like, you know, the day I went to jail, I had seen her. She was back there doing the laundry. She was putting something in the dryer, and I came outside. I'm like, damn, you scared me. She's like, where you going? It's early. I'm like, I'm out of here type shit. Right. But I'm going to, you know, hit a lick.
Right.
I never seen her again, and that shit tripped me out. That shit fucked me up.
Damn. That's crazy. I got some feelings like that.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Real shit. So, I'm sorry for your loss. So
Appreciate it.
send my
I took
condolences.
plenty more, you know, so it was just a shock to me because of like visually, you know, I be understanding like how life works. You feel me? So I'm like, I know some people not gonna be here forever or whatever. I'm gonna take that shit hard because I really be feeling it. You feel me? But it's just life. I'm in prison, so a lot of shit changed. Only difference was I'm not actually there to be a part of what's going on.
Right.
You know, I'm in prison, so I have to be tough. I gotta be like, you know what? That shit ain't nothing. But it really is, but you can't feel it because you really kind of like detached from people.
Right.
At least the people that you care about.
Right.
You know, you in here formulate relationships with these niggas and shit. But that ain't the same as your family. But for the time being, we straight, we solid. You know, you really build bonds with niggas you be like lifetime friends with. You feel me? Because we gotta be family in this motherfucker.
Well, I'm glad you survived, and I'm
Yeah,
glad you were
for sure.
able
We
to
in
keep
We
a
here.
good mindset, and you survived the 5.5 years. Was there anything overly traumatizing that happened to you while you were in there? Did you get stabbed or anything?
Nah, hell no.
Okay.
Honestly, like,
So you had a pretty okay experience.
I mean,
for the
there was
most
shit
part?
going on, like riots and just regular fights and shit, but nothing just super like traumatic to where I'm like, damn. Because a lot of this shit in prison, if you've been on the streets really thugging, you probably didn't see worse shit than that.
Right.
You know, so we probably just like damn, like what the fuck? It's more shocking that it's like right there, but it's
Right.
like, shit, that's them niggas' problems, you know? It'd be fucked up to feel like that, but it's like, shit, we just minding our business over here.
Right. Okay. So, where do you feel like your sound, your music, you as an artist, as an individual, as Beezy Santana, where do you feel like you fit in LA music?
Right in the center of it, you feel me? To be real, because I think my sound is just different, and I'm coming from a genuine place. You know what I'm saying? So I think like when I finally do get my spot, I'm working, but I think my sound is more organic to what I'm actually trying to like put out there. You know, I'm really coming from this different place, and I spit my shit way different. You know, it's with like dope formality, with intellect. It's not just like I'm just out here saying bullshit words or trying to rhyme like these words and I'm spitting. I actually really know, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to speak from a different level, a more elevated perspective of what I've been through, shit that I'm still going through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just pretty much where I feel I'm separated from a lot of people that's doing it. Because everybody they either got this sound or this one. I think I'm in the middle.
What would you consider it? Because it's ratchet, but it's still a little bit conscious too.
It's ratchet and
It is.
conscious.
Because that one music video you did in your hood is ghetto.
Which one?
The one where the lady's talking about, I don't know, I'm from Santana.
Oh, yeah. The big hungry.
Yeah. So,
no, but that's really what's going on. Like, you feel me? Them my young niggas, that's the hood. That's what we doing.
what inspired a song like that versus the ones that I've seen you drop prior to that? What inspired that?
It inspired it because everything I'm talking about is real shit. Like, it's shit. Everybody that's from my city, everybody that's from my hood, they know. Like, Beezy talking about that shit. You feel me? And people who really know me know I'm really talking about that shit. You feel me? It just inspiring. It was my city. That was like I'm getting that out the way first.
Right.
As far as if I'm on some introduction to the rap game.
Right. You want to
feel
take
me?
LA over first.
No, well, if I'm taking...
Is that what you mean by getting that out the way?
No, I'm saying as far as a Compton artist coming up,
Right.
I'm establishing that, like, get that out of me real quick. Now let's elevate to this different.
Oh, okay.
You feel
So how
me?
much ratchet are we going to get?
Man,
Because when you from LA, nigga, you got to give ratchet all the time. Even if you got the conscious shit.
Well, shit, man. I'm putting it out. I'm working. They just got to tap in.
Okay, so tell them the name of that song. Tell them the name of that song, where they can find it,
Right.
the name of the video, if it's the
Okay.
same name of the song, which it probably
Yeah,
is.
it's Beezy Santana, Tucker Street Dreams. It's available on all digital streaming platforms. Video out now on YouTube. Video is out right now. So y'all tap in. Beezy Santana, Tucker Street Dreams. Out now on
Okay.
YouTube.
And a little bit later, we'll get into all the rest of your music. But since we're talking about that, we definitely need to say it right now. What's the name of that one? So that just was something you wanted to get up out of your system real quick because that is a part of you, but at the same time you're the other person too.
Right.
Do you feel like you need to be the other person more to be successful in California music?
I think that
because as far as your city goes, they're gonna love the ratchet.
Right. I think that you have to be both if that's who you really are.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if I'm rapping about certain shit, it's some shit that I experienced. Don't necessarily mean I'm doing it right now, today, type shit. But of course, everybody gotta make a transition on more to a more professional level.
Right.
You know, the way you want to be. But you're still this guy too. And I feel like artists, like, you can see how, like, some artists, they start off hungry, they talking about some shit, but as they grow and elevate and get more established, that shit kind of go out the window.
Right.
And I think that's, like, a process to everybody. And I think it boils down to, like, how genuine and real you really are doing this shit.
Okay. So what do you have to do when it's time for you to make a song? Like, you know, what are preparations you do mentally? I know you write. You don't, have you changed? Do you freestyle now? Do you punch in?
Well, I do all three of them. It depends on what's going on in the studio.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'll be in there drinking sometimes, smoking. So sometimes I'm not finna just spit all of it. That's always the goal. But in the studio, you could really just perfect your craft. You know, you don't have to rush through it in the studio. You don't have to do that. You could just chill. You could fuck up, just take your time. Do what you're gonna do though.
Right.
Get the job done. But you could take your time, you know, but I could do all three. As a lady, I've been better with like doing freestyles.
Okay.
At first I couldn't freestyle nothing. But now I just hear shit. A lot of my songs I've been making lately, they be like coming to me off of freestyle. But I actually write them too. But I built the song off of a freestyle.
Well, it's like you freestyle it, but you write it down so you won't forget it. Yeah, that's still like a freestyle because it's not like you really sitting to like execute it. You just kind of say it off the top of your head, but then you write it down.
Absolutely.
Okay. And do you feel like how do you feel like your fans have changed? Did you have ones still that were supporters when you got out? Because I know you had a fan base before you went to jail.
Yeah.
Did you still have the same fan base?
Yeah, hell yeah. So they rock with me hard, and they've been rocking, and I think that now, the situation that I actually been through, they actually respect it more, not only from a music perspective, but as a person.
Okay.
Because they listening to my music from then, and they like, he's still doing it, and they can see like, oh, he getting better and better and better and better. You know, they see.
Did they mind the change in the style?
Yeah, hell yeah, because they see the growth. They see the difference from me when I'm just on some bullshit to now a grown, more mature Beezy Santana. They like, we see you, Beezy, you fucking with it. Like, keep going. You know, and that's it. It's a good feeling because now I'm okay. They see what I'm doing, and they actually been loving me, but they actually respecting what I'm doing. They know it's some real music and it's good shit I'm putting out. You know, my goal when I be in the studio, every song I make is a hit. Every one. You feel me? Like, that's all I'm on. And because I'm not taking it lightly. I'm really serious about what I'm doing. I'm passionate and I genuinely love doing it.
Right. How long have you been rapping all together as a whole?
All together, seriously, maybe I'll start rapping for real in like 2013, 14 maybe.
Okay.
I was making little songs here and there, but right up to the point I went to prison, I was taking it kind of serious.
Okay. So 2013.
To maybe like 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long has that been? How many years was that?
Probably like 7, 8.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Well, no, hell no. If it's 2022, then shit, 2013, that's like 10
I don't know.
years.
That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
How many years? That's why I asked you. I ain't even try to do the mental math.
Yeah, shit. Like 10, 11 years maybe.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So it's been a cool little minute. And you don't feel like, do you feel any negativity that's happened since you've been making music, you got out of jail? Any negative things that's been thrown your way? Trials, tribulations you've have to go through?
Man, some shit I went through, but that shit wasn't nothing though. But other than that shit, it was like, I just been on a positive. I really been trying to stay in my lane. You know, I ain't trying to convert to being bullshit or having to even be on that. You know, I just be really in my own lane, trying to do me, doing music, you know. And it be like, I think like when people see that you like trying to do your thing and you actually shining and you out the way, they be trying to come and like, man,
do little shit.
Yeah, wear that shit.
Do you want to talk about the weird shit?
Nah, hell no. Hell
you don't want to address it?
Nah, that's it.
But
that's
it's just some negative energy that was thrown your way.
It was like some negative energy, you feel me? And I'm past the negative energy because I'm at the point in my life now. Like, if I got to go back to the bullshit, then it's going to be, like, bad.
Right.
You know, and I ain't trying to do that. Like, I'm more humble. I'm more understanding that everybody don't be deserving no energy from me.
Right.
You feel me? Because I'm looking at myself like a god, like a king. Like, you know, I'm like, man, I'm on a whole nother level than y'all. That's why y'all still acting like that.
Right.
You feel me? I passed that shit a long time ago.
Right. Is there anybody out there that you want to work with?
I want to work with a lot of the upcoming artists that's coming from my city.
Okay.
Like, I got a song with Siete.
Okay, I know
I got a song with
Siete.
Siete.
I met him once.
Yeah, Siete, cool. It's crazy because I never actually met him in real life.
Okay.
He was just real when I was in prison. The homie lined us up, and I'm like, you trying to jump on this track with me? And he like, hell yeah. And we happened to make a cold song. It's on my EP I got out right now, Times Change. The one I just dropped. It's on there. So y'all might want to go check that out.
Well, tell them the name of it again.
Yeah, it's called Beezy Santana, Times Change.
Okay.
Available on all streaming platforms.
And what's the name of the song with you and Siete?
It's called Baseline. It's called
Baseline.
Baseline, but I got Tucker Street Dreams on there.
Okay.
That I'm on with Young Sweets on there.
Okay.
I got that Lost for Words with Monk on there too.
Okay.
I got a whole bunch of shit on there. Y'all just gotta check in. It's gonna be good. Y'all gonna appreciate it.
Okay. Well, tell us about a little bit of your accomplishments that you've had since coming back out as a rapper. Because you didn't just get right back into it when you got out, huh? Or you took a little bit of time?
Like maybe.
How long have you been out?
Now probably like almost 8 months. I got out in January. No, I got out in January. Yes. So
okay.
Almost like 8 months.
Yeah, it's been.
Actually, on the 27th, it'll be 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but I actually won. It was like, I don't know if you heard the Field Boy TV shit.
Field Boy TV. No, I haven't heard of that.
My boys, they got this Field Boy TV on Instagram. They did like a like top song of the month or something, and my song Another Level won that. It's like a small platform, but it's on the rise. But for me, that was dope.
Right.
I ain't never won shit musically,
right.
so I'm like, oh shit, I won.
No, I feel you.
You feel me? Like, for sure. But I've been doing a whole bunch of shows. Like, Bakersfield been fucking with me for sure.
Okay.
And that's cool because it's starting to grow even here. Like, we just performed at the fair. Me and Sweets did. You know, and Brandon Johnson, I don't know if you know him.
Yeah, I know Brandon
Johnson. But
Johnson.
bro was up there with us, and we, like, rocked out.
Okay.
You know, so, but Bakersfield been opening up a lot of stuff for us. We've been doing a lot of stuff here, and it's been fun. So that's been an accomplishment to me to actually, like, perform on a consistent basis at an actual venue, my name on the flyers and shit. Like, you know, and then, like, when I be doing the United Masters and all that, I be getting a little money off of there.
Okay.
Streamings be, like, cool, and I be like, damn, I didn't even know that people listen to my shit that tough.
Right.
You know, but all that should be accomplishments to me. Accomplishments, I mean, you know, so it'd be like, damn.
Have you done any shows or anything in LA yet?
No.
That's the goal, right?
Yeah, so actually it's something coming up I think next month. Me and my young homies from my section, we about to perform in the hood. Okay. So that's gonna be dope. Okay. You feel me? We gonna perform in the hood. I don't know the date or no shit like that, but we already, my young nigga tapped in with me like, hey, we gotta do it. I'm like, for sure. Okay. You feel me? But other than that, hell no. I've been on stage with my boy KG3 though. He done did a whole bunch of shows in LA, but as my own self, rapping on the stage.
No, but you be out there when they doing shows.
Yeah, my boys, they be rapping and shit, so I've been on the stage with them. I know the atmosphere, but now as an established artist myself that's coming up, I've never been on there by myself. Like, it's my set, but I've been up there, and it's coming though. It's finna be crazy.
Okay. Well, we'll be definitely on the lookout for everything that you have coming. I'll put all the links for your music and your tapes in the bio. Give the vlog a little bit of background of what you already have out, where it's at, music videos, songs, whatever it is you want to let them know. Shout that out right now.
Right. Okay, Time Change, Beezy Santana is out on all platforms, all streaming platforms. I got probably four or five videos out right now. Tucker Street Dreams, I'm on, Watch Me Sacrifices. Y'all gotta go check them out. They all out right now. YouTube. And other than that, really just tap in. Lock in with me, give it a chance. You feel me? I think I'm the next biggest thing. Well, I know that. You know, so y'all tap in and let's ride this wave and let's get rich. Let's get this money. And to everybody who's supporting me, I love y'all. For real, it's deeply rooted. We finna get there.
All right. Okay, so Tucker Street Dreams, is that the street that you grew up on in Compton?
Yeah, I grew up on Tucker and Pearl.
Okay, so the inspiration for it's actually filmed on that street in Compton. Okay.
Yeah, in front of my grandma's house.
Okay.
My grandma lived in that house. That's where I start gang banging.
But she don't live there no more?
No.
Oh, okay.
She don't.
Gotcha.
That's in front of that house and all that section. That's all the hood.
Okay.
That's where I grew up in the streets. That's where everything started.
Okay.
For sure. Literally in front of the house right there.
Okay. And that's like the heart of Santana block?
Well, yeah. For me, hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Because we got two different sides. We got a big hood.
And what, in LA, not in LA, in Compton, like, what street would that be considered in like, gang-wise?
What do you mean? Tucker Street?
Like, is it a number? No, huh?
It's just Tucker Street, 1600 Pearl and Tucker.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So it wouldn't. That's the hood.
Okay.
You feel me? Ain't no. Tucker
so where does the
Street
Santana block name come from?
Well, originally back in the day, what I know as far as the history of the hood, the older homies used to call each other Santana Boys. You know, it was Oak Park, all type of shit, Santa Fe Mafia. But I think Santana Boys came from, I think it was like a record or something. It actually came from like a record as far as the name of Santana. And I guess one of the homies just was like, fuck it, we might as well be Santana Blocks. And that's how all that started. That was way before my time, but as far as history, that's what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for giving the vlog a background of your life and how you grew up and where you grew up and growing up in LA and how that molded you and even coming out here in Bakersfield for a split second and going back to LA. And it's all a part of your journey. So I'm glad we were able to document it here on the interview. As far as the music goes, where do you want to take it? Where do you see yourself? Is there, any messages you want to give out there to your supporters? Anything you just want to say? Now's your time to where you can just kind of say whatever it is you feel you want to tell the people about your music and where you want to take it and what you see these next couple of years being like.
Right.
You got to predict it now on this, your first interview.
For sure. I already could see like what I manifested is starting to formulate into, what it is. But what I want to tell like my fans and my people that support me, I appreciate y'all for really being here and keeping me grounded. Because my fans, they actually like talk to me. Like they don't be on no just regular fan shit. Some of the people who really support me most is people that I know.
Are they predominantly LA or Bakersfield? Both. It's
both. Well, really Compton, I got some people that fuck with me in LA for sure. That's imperative.
He keep reminding me they two different cities.
No, because you keep saying LA.
It's all the same, nigga.
To you.
To me, I'm a Bakersfieldian.
Yeah. But, so, basically said it's all three different ones. I done had people hit me up from other states and shit, too. I had some female hit me up from, like, Kansas, New York, fucking Oakland, Atlanta, everywhere. People then reached out. Like, even, like on TikTok and shit, they be like, oh, Beezy, what's up? Like, even on Instagram, I'd be like, what the hell? People would hit me like, man, we listen to your music. But me, I'm barely starting to really start, so I'd be like, what song you listen to, nigga? And
right.
They'd be like, oh, this one. I'm like, oh, you listen, for real. Because the songs that you talking about, they only on my album.
Right.
So it's like, you have to listen to it to know. So
right.
Like, okay, they fucking with it. So.
Right. So, you feel like, where do you see yourself taking it next couple of years, and what do you predict and manifest for the future?
I predict that it's gonna be big, that I'm gonna be big, that I'm gonna be able to be in a position to take care of my family, and I think it's gonna happen like faster than I expect because I'm actually working for it. I just see myself fully established, and not only as an artist but as a man, for my family, for my people, the people who love me the most. So I want to take care of everybody. That's what I feel I was put here to do. And I'm going to work my ass off so they ain't got to work. Like, that's what I'm on. And I just see myself in the next couple of years really flourishing into somebody great. Because behind the scenes, I'm actually really putting the work in.
Right.
You know, I'm networking how I'm supposed to. I'm talking to the right people. My only job really right now is just keep doing the music, stay consistent, and it's gonna be big for sure.
Okay. All right. Is there any more shout outs or anything you want to say to the people? Of course, you can shout your social medias out. Right. I definitely appreciate you for doing the interview and taking time out of your schedule to give us your first interview.
Right.
You know, we love getting the first interviews on Free World Order, so this is definitely going to be something documented for history. Whenever you do get up there, and I know you're going to get up there because y'all has been hard since before you even went to jail.
Appreciate you.
So you've always had good lyrics, and you always had the ability to write well, whether it was ratchet shit or regular shit.
Right. You can say ratchet shit.
It's true. It's ratchet. There's no other word for it.
Hoochie daddy.
Yes, there's no other fucking word for it. Doo-doo daddy. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
She crazy.
But yeah, do you have any other shout outs? You want to shout your socials out?
Yeah.
You on Twitter?
No, I need one. Huh?
Yeah, you should probably make a Twitter.
Oh man, I was thinking about the other day actually.
Yeah, you should make a Twitter.
Yeah, but y'all can follow me on Instagram at beezy.sb, beezy.sb. On all platforms, Beezy Santana, Beezy Santana. Y'all know what it is. Tap in. Time change out right now. Shout out to everybody who's supporting me, everybody who keeping me going, man. I fuck with y'all the long way. It's Beezy, baby.
All right, and thank you guys so much for tapping in, subscribing. All the new subscribers that just subscribed based off the San Francisco interview that I just did. Thank you guys for tapping in. And all my LA subscribers, Bakersfield, everywhere in the world that niggas is tapped in. Even Trinidad is on this motherfucker. So thank you guys so much for subscribing, following me on Instagram, tapping into the interviews. I do this shit for y'all so I can document the lives that I'm around that I know you guys want to know more about. If I can get the story for you guys, that's what I'm definitely always going to bring, the hottest with the exclusives and all that. So thank you guys so much for tapping in. Is there anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Good now.
All right.